Hey everybody, Dirty Side Gets Down here. It's been a long time, I know, but we're finally introducing a new project, or finally deucing, something like that. You've seen this thing on some reels and some YouTube shorts and stuff like that, but it's never been officially introduced on the channel, and you're here just in time for a major plan change for it. So get through the intro and show it to you.
Dirty Side Gets Down. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
All right, back from the intro, and here it is, 74 Nova. And we did some reels and stuff on this thing where it was getting some welding done, but it was never fully introduced on the channel. And so I'll give you a little walkthrough of what we did to it and then where we're going with it. So what we stuck in it was a 5.3 LS. It's got a pretty nasty built 4L80, and it's got two mirror image force performance turbochargers, if you ever hear Robert Young talk. I got the turbo kit about half done or so. Did the fender exit exhausts on both sides. Got the up and forward headers that everybody has. You know, we're really breaking the mold here. We got about to the point of getting intercooler done and stuff, and then the other Camaro came about, so this got put on the back burner. So now we're changing plans here, and this whole setup is going to go in this Camaro here, and that's a future project for the channel that I'm not exactly sure when we'll get to, but it's coming up. All right, so we'll give you a little walk around here, show you what we got, and then talk about what we're going to do. It's got some old school weld wheels on it. It's got a fiberglass front end, kind of one-piece deal. The hood's separate. It's got glass windshield, Lexan side and back, which are very cloudy. You can see I hit it with some buffing compound a little bit just to see if it clean up. Those are all going to come out and put actual glass in it. This is going to be a 6-week car, is the plan for part of it. So we'll look inside here, and it's pretty well gutted. Not much going on. And come around the back. It's got slicks on it already, which need to be changed. They're old. It's got a fiberglass trunk. And I put a fuel cell in it and hacked up the floor to put some shocks in it. So we're going to definitely do some modernizing here and get rid of a lot of that. Make this thing better. That fuel cell is kind of a thorn in my side, which I'll show you underneath at some point. And it won't be in this video, but I will explain. This side is the same as the other side. We'll look in here for what's going on today. Well, let's get a light real quick. All right, now that we're back with a light, you can see there's a big old hole in the floor, and we had to put that there to get that 4L80 in there. You know, Nova just wasn't meant for that much transmission. So today's project, and hopefully it'll get knocked out in this video, is fixing that. So that now leads us into, what are we going to do with this thing? I don't know how many of you know that my day job is selling and supporting Holley fuel injection. We deal mostly with snipers, which you can probably tell by all the sniper videos on this channel. And you know, snipers have kind of a bad rap, not exactly unjustified. I mean, it's the most budget option for fuel injection there is, and that comes with its challenges and issues. But I think they get a worse rap than they deserve. And so my plan is to take just a basic 4150, everybody calls the 650 horsepower, because that's what the injectors are rated for, 650 horsepower. We're going to put one of those on here with a small block Chevy and a 700R Ford transmission, throw a turbo at it, and I'm going to build this thing exactly like I tell my customers to build, all the parts that I tell them to use. There's going to be a lot of how-to stuff on our company channel, and also this one. It'll be done a lot differently between the two channels, where our company channel is going to be really geared towards education and things like that, and that's not really what this channel is. But my plan is to push the Sniper as far as it'll go. So we'll take it to max out the fuel injectors. I'm going to put turbo on it. Once it's fully maxed out there, I'll swap to the 120-pound injectors, and we'll max those out as long as the engine's up for it. That's just a stock GM, was it Mr. Goodrich, whatever, GM Goodrich small block, it's a 350 4-bolt main deal. Used to be in my truck that's in some other videos before the LS swap. And so now that's going to go here in the Nova. And we'll see, just how far we can take a Sniper. My goal is kind of mid-10s as I'd say maybe a broad goal. Ideally, it'd be really cool to just hit like 10 flat in this thing, but I'm not so sure that the small block is going to be up to it. I think it'll let go before we hit 10 flat or break into the 9s. But we're going to find out, and hopefully you'll be here for it too. So with all that said, let's get this floor patched up, because what I want to do is make the floor ready for a 4L80, just in case I ever end up with a 4L80 in this car. But once that's done, then the LS and 4L80 can come out, go in the other Camaro, and we will throw the small block in here, the 700R4, and get rolling on the Sniper stuff. So anyway, onto the floor. Now, I am no sheet metal expert by any means. This is not a how-to video. This is how I'm going to do it video. And hopefully how you watch it video. One of the big things about this channel is I really just want people to get out and do things. Just don't limit yourself. Don't think, oh, I can't do that, and then you never get to do anything. Just try it. I got $160 tied up in some metal for this project. It's not a lot of money. And maybe I'll learn something. So we're going to make a template, because I have seen a lot of people do sheet metal work, so I have some of the basics. Now you got to be able to kind of think for yourself a little bit, and push that and make it all round. I think we're looking pretty good right here. One of the things I did learn from seeing people do sheet metal is if you got dirty hands, you can push it on this edge and see it kind of makes a line there. You can make your template that way. So I'll get that done. We'll get it cut out of some metal, and then we'll start shaping. All right, we got our template, and it's taped to this piece of steel here. I'm going to trace it out, cut it out, and start shaping. All right, now we'll get a little roll in it so it fits the shape. Let's see how that fits. Well, we did it upside down. I'm no sheet metal guy, but I'm hoping we can just flip it and reverse it, or whatever Missy Elliott said. And maybe it'll go the other way. Let's see. That worked, I guess. Now let's see if it fits. We're getting the idea. It's gonna need a little, trimming. I cut it too big on purpose, but the radius is pretty good. And just a little massaging. I think we can get this. I'm just gonna do some tedious trimming here, and then I'll bring you back. Alrighty, so by the magic of Florida humidity, it's been 2 days, and this panel is super rusty. But I was able to get back to it here, and we're fitting pretty good, and really didn't do anything special after what you saw rolling it in the roller. Just a little bit of, just shaping over my knee and that kind of thing, trimming the edges, getting it all pretty good. But one thing I want to do, and it's probably hard to see, is I just want to roll this back edge a little bit, flare it, to run into this a little better. And we're going to throw it in the English wheel and just roll it through a couple times and see if that'll do what I want it to. Well, you can't really see it on camera, but I got that light little bit of flare out that I wanted. That's a pretty good match. So we're going to get this paint cleaned up and tack this in, and then we'll move on to the rest of it. All right, now we're in place. Get a couple of tacks on it, and then we can move on to the next piece. Alrighty. I don't want to get too crazy on the tacks because I want to still be able to work it and get it just right. But that's good enough that we can start on the next piece. Alright, so that next panel up there was basically the same thing. Put a roller, a little tedious shaping, a couple tack welds. So now that we got enough in there that I know we're going to clear the transmission, we'll take the engine and transmission out so we can get to the other side and be able to finish up, you know, all that up there a little easier. So let's get this engine out of there. Out doing it from underneath was easier than climbing over that cage and doing it inside. So here we are underneath, and we'll get it stuck in here and welded up. Fitting pretty nice. Don't forget your safety squints. All right, after your little tumble there, I went ahead and just kind of finished fitting this up, tacked in. You can see we got pretty good fit up everywhere. So now we'll get this all welded. There's 1,000 spot welds. Alrighty, well, we got that transmission tunnel wrapped up and went ahead and got these couple panels plopped in here real quick. I'm going to smooth those up and paint it off camera. Nobody wants to see that. That is boring YouTube right there. If for some reason you do want to, you know, put it down in the comments there. I definitely try to read all of them, and you know, if there's something I'm not showing that y'all want to see, I'll definitely try to start adding it. And if there's things that I'm showing you don't want to see, I'll try taking it out. You just got to let me know. So anyway, it's going to wrap up this episode. Just sort of undrag racing this car. It's going to race, but we just got to get rid of some of the old school hack job stuff that's been done and make this a proper drag and drive car. So the next episode, when you see this thing, we are plopping that engine and transmission in there and get it running carbureted. It's going to go to the dyno. And it's not a far trip because big news here, we got our own dyno. Okay, damn mosquitoes. I was going to film all of putting it in and the whole thing, and it turned out to be such a mess. And it's not really anybody's fault. Just you don't know what you don't know. And so it was just one hurdle after another. And but it's up and running. So the first time you see it, we'll be with this car, and you know, it's probably going to make 270 horsepower. It's a pretty basic 350 here, nothing special. But the plan is to dyno it with a carburetor, run it in the quarter mile with a carburetor, then put the Sniper on and see what kind of difference it makes. You know, and then we'll add the timing control and we'll do the same, and then we'll add turbo and we'll really get this thing tuned. So be sure to check back for the next episode, and we will get this thing running. It's about time. See you next time.